Hello again. You're watching Today on eNCA, DSTV channel 43 with me, Dan Moyane. Now let's stay with energy issues this hour. The minister in the presidency, Mondli Kungubele, says that the legal process to declare a national state of disaster over the energy crisis is currently underway, saying government is working on securing emergency power, maintaining power stations. But we're wondering if all of this will help to end power cuts by the end of this year. I'm in discussion with energy expert NJ Ayuk from the African Energy Chamber. NJ, welcome back. Earlier, the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Gwede Mantashe, spoke about some of the measures, including the maintenance of the existing Eskom coal-fired power stations. He also said South Africa is considering buying energy from neighboring countries. When I hear that, I think of Kaurabasa in northern Mozambique. Where else in the neighborhood can South Africa be purchasing its power from?
It is going to be Mozambique. And it is also you're also going to look at the possibility of ramping up massive gas through Ramco into South Africa. But it's not just neighboring countries by saying across the borders. It is also going to look at bringing in gas, most likely from Qatar or from Nigeria, or maybe even we might even explore the idea of even considering bigger gas producers like Russia to really see how you bring in gas into the energy systems here in South Africa. But most importantly, though, you have to really pay attention to the abundant energy sources you have in South Africa and use that, because energy security is more important right now than anything. You have enough in South Africa. It can be used to power South Africa without going abroad.
Yeah, let's just revisit the main question. Do you think, as the African Energy Chamber, that declaring a state of disaster on its own will actually help in the short term, or is it a long-term game?
It is an easy of both. One of the key issues you have seen here is that regulatory policies-wise have not helped. You've had so much issues with delays in permitting, a lot of regulatory red tape that has made it very difficult for power producers to produce power in South Africa. You can't even shoot seismic in South Africa without getting the court stopping you. So right now you're in a crisis. And the crisis, you might have to take some measures, but we have to be very prudent to ensure that there is no abuse in how we use legal structures, where in the long term it's going to hurt. But if this is done and is done prudently, it could be a step in the right direction, because you have to look at what people are faced with every day. Businesses are not investing in producing energy in South Africa. That is a problem. So we need to get a very quick 10-point plan and move that up quickly. If not, you'll be losing your manufacturing edge, as you're already losing right now.
I mean, you are in Cape Town. The Invest in African Mining Indaba is underway, as we know, NJ. It must be very difficult if you are in the mining sector to plan growth, whether you should be investing in new projects or not, because of this energy crisis. What would you think will be the biggest important message that the mining sector must receive this week in Cape Town from this Indaba around energy issues?
They have to receive a clear message of that South Africa is going to get it right. It's going to come back, and we have seen some shortfalls in power, but there is a clear plan to get us on the road back to success. There are challenges here, but that is important. But they also have to see a nation that is embracing a transition in a sense where it embraces all forms of energy and energy mix. Once you see that, it's going to come. And pay attention to the huge investments that have to go in some of the mining fields and the jobs that have to be created. That message has to come out very clear. People are actually optimistic about what can happen with South African energies, but the power issue is holding back. And I think leadership has to send a message that South Africa is going to be back. This is a setback, but it's not a failure. We are going to get this mining and power issues moving again, because we've been there before, but we've never seen anything like this, and we can turn it around. And I think that's why you saw more people at Mining Indaba this year than you've ever seen in the past, because the markets need to see government saying, we got this and we are with you. And I think that feeling is around because capital is willing to meet South Africa's energy needs, and this is its time.
Thank you very much. NJ Ayuk from the African Energy Chamber talking to us from Cape Town, where he's also attending the Invest in African Mining Indaba, which has started today.